This is a News 12 special report. The Putnam State of the County Address.
Good evening, everyone. A look inside the Putnam County Golf Club, where Putnam County Executive Mary Ellen Odell will momentarily give her State of the County address this evening. Hello and welcome to News 12's special report. I'm Janine Rose. You will see the Putnam State of the County address live right here on News 12 this evening and news12.com. This year's theme is Pathways to the Future. Here's another look inside the Putnam County Golf Course in Mayapack tonight, where a legislative meeting is about to get underway before the speech. Now, this will be Mary Ellen Odell's third State of the County address. The Republican told News 12 she plans on telling Putnam residents exactly where her county is headed. Odell says there will be a few surprises along the way, but her main theme tonight is expected to focus on taxes and how local tax dollars are being spent in Putnam County. It is a re-election year this year for Mary Ellen Odell, who may have some competition in November. Longtime Putnam County executive longtime Putnam County legislator Sam Oliverio reportedly wants to unseat Odell. He's already announced his candidacy. Oliverio, the only Democrat on the GOP-controlled county board, reportedly has criticized Odell for cutting services to senior citizens. And we're also hearing that there's a possibility that Mary Ellen Odell could face a Republican primary challenge. There's some talk that Republican State Senator Greg Ball might also challenge Odell for her seat in the fall. We'll be watching, of course, to see what happens. Now, in tonight's speech, Miss Odell will highlight 2014 as, quote, the year of the senior, according to her staffers, with a new app she's going to introduce called Putnam County Cares. Odell will also talk about fiscal responsibility and jobs. You can see now they're having this little Irish dance team perform in preparation for Miss Odell to come out and give her speech. But we should mention right now Putnam County has among the lowest unemployment rates in New York at just 5.4% in January of this year. The nation, of course, has unemployment rates at closer to 7%. Now, another big issue we're expected to hear about tonight is the growing heroin epidemic in the Hudson Valley and what Putnam County is planning to do to combat the war on the powerful drug after several deadly overdoses by young people throughout the Hudson Valley and in Putnam this week. You'll remember that News 12 just this week highlighted the problems in our special series, Hooked on Heroin. Again, if you're just joining us, we are watching the celebrations that are taking place before Mary Ellen Odell, the county executive of Putnam County, delivers her State of the County address. Lots going on in Putnam County. It is also in the middle of a legal battle this year after refusing to turn over local pistol permit records to the Journal News newspaper. A state Supreme Court judge has ordered the county to turn over that information, but Mary Ellen Odell and the legislature are still fighting it, and they're in the process of appealing the latest decision. They have not turned over those gun permit lists. You might remember that all started when the Journal News posted an interactive map on their website of gun permit holders in Westchester and Rockland counties in December of 2012. Now, they're about to have the Pledge of Allegiance and the salute here, so let's listen in. Again, we're waiting for the Pledge of Allegiance here.
I'd like to call Dennis Sand to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, our Putnam County Clerk.
Hand salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I would like to call up Leah Silligan and Alana Becca to lead us in the National Anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And I would, at this time, like to introduce our county executive for her State of the County 2014. County executive.
Well, good evening, everyone. It doesn't take a month of planning to get to tonight. It took almost 900 days to get here. What we will be talking about tonight is a culmination of goals that we set out, but a goal is meaningless unless you have a plan. I'd like to just acknowledge the team that I've been honored to serve with, not only day to day, but in putting this presentation together. Joe DiMarzo, Vinnie Tamagna, Jen Bumgarner, Adrian Spadaccini, and of course, nothing would have gotten done if it wasn't for Tom Lannon, the head of IT. So I'd like to acknowledge their efforts. And I'd also like to thank my colleagues on the legislature for allowing us to present this evening's State of the County address in what will prove to be, and has, I believe, already proven to be, one of the most beautiful tourist destinations in the Hudson Valley. So thank you to my colleagues on the legislature. You know, I met a man named David Bruin in 2010. And our friendship was not based on politics. It was based on our love for Putnam County and our love for public service. I only knew David for a very brief amount of time, but I know by the outpouring of love that we saw last month when we said goodbye to David, what a wonderful individual he really was. He was a wonderful man to his family. He was a wonderful father. He was a wonderful husband. He was a wonderful public servant, and he was an example for all of us as elected officials to set. And I thought tonight would be very fitting that we remember David Duncan Bruin for his service. So take a moment of silence. Putnam County also lost another great public servant and another great man, and a man who served his country and his family honorably. And we sadly had to say goodbye to the Bureau of Emergency Services Commissioner, Mr. Robert McMahon, a dear friend. And in the circle of life here in Putnam County, in this family that we've developed and embraced, I'd like to just note those of our Putnam County family that have also recently departed. To those loved ones and their friends, we send their condolences. And of course, we ask that they rest in peace. Okay. In 2012, the first State of the County address was titled Managing Our Assets and Optimizing Our Resources. Last year, we coined the theme to be Making the Connection. This year, we've decided to take those two addresses and combine them and send this county on a course of prosperity. And so we've named this evening's address and the year 2014 to be our pathway to the future. From a historical perspective, how we arrived at where we are today. Putnam knows its history well, and let's follow the paths that brought us here, and through this address, we're going to explore the pathways to the future. You can't go far in Putnam County without seeing a historical marker. All around us are other reminders of how we got here. Famous family names, to the towns and villages and areas that just always seem to be called the right name. History is really our future, as we use what we have learned to leave our legacy. Our history once again becomes our future as our historic courthouse will celebrate her 200th birthday. This beautiful building will be celebrating as began serving Putnam County in 1814 and has been a part of our history ever since. The bicentennial celebration of the Putnam County Historic Courthouse begins on June 12, 2014, where we will be honored with the best-selling New York Times author and Putnam's own Allison Pataki will be our keynote speaker. And we're also going to be unveiling the beautiful exterior lighting that was donated by the generosity of Entergy. And now our grand building will be even grander. Putnam County can trace much of its history to paths. Most notably, Sybil's famous ride, and the rail lines on the west and the east side of the county, and the highways that blazed their trails and defined Putnam, and to our newest path, the Putnam County Bike Pedestrian Path. Our senior centers, fire stations, ambulance quarters, sheriff's office, local and state police, county and state parks, and our amazing tourist destinations also create paths. So this evening you're going to see us highlighting some of the issues that we feel are important when delivering a State of the County address. The items and the ideas and the agendas that we've brought forth that reflect what's important to the Putnam County taxpayer, most notably fiscal responsibility. And here's a look at Putnam's economy. And that is indeed our Commissioner of Finance, Bill Carlin. Putnam's economic picture has many paths, but our Commissioner of Finance, Bill Carlin, always keeps us on the right path. So where does the money go? Where'd the money go in 2013? Well, economic assistance and opportunity, which includes all of our social services programs, Medicaid, programs for the aging, consumer affairs. We spend $32.3 million, or about 21% of our budget. Public safety, of course, being the safest county in New York State, we'll note later. That includes the Sheriff's Department, our jail, emergency services, and probation. We spend $31.5 million, or approximately 20% of our budget. And of course, health. Our health department and mental health programs, we spend $11.6 million, or approximately 7%. And then there's the bills that have to be paid, debt service. 26.7 million, or approximately 17% of our budget. So where does the money come from so that we can send the money out? Sales tax revenue, 54.3 million, or 34%. Real property taxes, the taxes that we collect from our constituents, 44.1, or 28%. Department revenues, we have some very creative department heads. We've designed some really creative initiatives to help offset some of our costs by generating revenue, 36.1 million, or 22%. And then state and federal aid, 24.6. Note that that's the last one in the column, just saying. We're also pleased to report that we once again received the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting, which happens to be Mr. Carlin's favorite slide of this evening. But ladies and gentlemen, mandates are really what drives this budget. 70%, $70 of every 100 goes to unfunded mandates. And we decided that we wanted to make sure that the public knew that fact. So we did something a little different this year, this county, when we sent out our tax bills. We included an informational website where you could go to. We went to the web and said, if you want to see where your money's going, just go to the web. We posted it on our website, and so you can find where your 2014 property tax dollars go. This informative chart reveals that for every $100, as I mentioned, 70 goes to support federal and state mandated programs. Now this slide, I just want to show you that what does a tax cap and what does a mandate have in common? Not much, although Albany thinks it does. In 2013, Albany's tax cap was about 3%, but we snugged in right above 1%. We did our job. 2014, Albany's cap was a little bit, again, higher, over 3%, but we didn't feel we had to get there. We came in right under just about 1.66. Every year that I've been in office, I've submitted a budget by October 1st deadline that has been under the Albany tax cap, even though we have seen no mandate relief. In addition, thank you. And in addition to being under the Albany tax cap by more than 50%, we've also underspent our budget in the years 2012 and 2013. And we do anticipate underspending again in the 2014 budget. And how we do that? It's because we have built-in mechanisms in place so that we have tighter controls on our spending. And we're committed to submitting a 2015 budget that also will come in under the Albany tax cap. So having that fiscal responsibility, we've been fortunate to use $1 million to strengthen our insurance reserve fund. And we've also been proactive in paying down the retirement system pension bill. We took $3.5 million. And even while we did that, we have a general fund balance of $18.4 million as of the close of the 2013 fiscal year. That number exceeds the recommended standards. Our strong fund balance and high bond rating enabled the county to save $2 million in bond interest costs over the last years. It's almost like your credit card. If you make your payments on time, they keep your interest rates low. Same thing here. And while our neighbors, Westchester County and Rockland County and Dutchess County, and more than likely Orange County, have seen their bond rating lowered, Putnam County is affirmed. We are still a AA2 rated county. That's what Moody says. So in line with fiscal responsibility, I want to talk about an initiative that we brought forth, a piece of legislation, the Putnam Community Foundation property dispute. With the unanimous approval by the Putnam County Legislature and with the support from Sheriff Smith, we're continuing our effort to return property located along Stoneleigh Avenue back to the taxpayer. This would allow us to return over 35 acres of sewered and watered property overlooking the reservoir that is presently in violation of its intended use. We want it back on the tax rolls, and we want it there to drive good, smart economic growth. Our federal and state underfunded programs. These are just some of the many mandates that Putnam County is required to fund. And you can, again, refer to them on the website. We're going to example a few. The Department of Social Services costs us $17.6 million. Among these services, the Department of Social Services provides temporary assistance for needy families, child welfare services, and child support enforcement. All programs we believe in, by the way. Highways and facilities. They cost us a little bit over $10 million. And along with those responsibilities to maintain our roads and bridges and keep them safe, we have additional unfunded mandates, such as inspecting and maintaining our dams and complying with stormwater management regulations, also known as MS4. Medicaid. This is my favorite one. So Medicaid, we have about 6,000 residents who are Medicaid eligible recipients. It costs this county $10 million. That number is staggering. It's very indicative that it's out of control. And so I decided to go out and talk to some consultants and see if there was something that we could do better. And I found the Bonadillo Group. I found them through NISAC, a terrific organization that advocates for county taxpayers, actually all taxpayers. As was reported in the Journal News, they took our program and the success that came along with it, entitled an article, Putnam Tackles Medicaid. And here are the stats again. We spend about $10 million covering 6,200 individuals who are covered under a program that's supposed to be there for the poor and the disabled and the needy. You take the 10 million county local level and you add the state and federal funding, and those folks are actually costing $97 million. And by the way, New York State is one of the only states that's required to pay a portion of Medicaid. The contract that we entered with the Bonadillo Group is capped at $25,000, and the county so far has spent $16,000, according to Bill Carlin, and that is covered by state and federal funding. So what did we find out? What did we achieve? Well, our staff and our employees who review these applications are frustrated, they were overworked, and they really weren't given the skill set to keep up with the times of these applications. And let's face it, everyone knows that if you're going to game the system, you're going to spend a lot of time doing your research. So what we did was ask the Bonadillo Group to come in and give our employees the skill set so they could better evaluate these applications. As a result, the Bonadillo Group and the employees discovered abuse or an applicant withdrew the application in 22 cases involving 67 applicants for Medicaid. Those cases represented 72.2% of the 36 cases that were reviewed. And as a result, this county managed a cost avoidance of over $600,000 by that one initiative. And that's great. And that was really the goal we set out to achieve. But something else came to light, which I think is equally, if not more important. We had a case that was Medicaid eligible, in spite of the fact that this family of 5 owns a home valued at $1 million. They also have a condominium that they get rental income from. They're self-employed, and they have a $500,000 line of credit, and they have retirement accounts. But if they pull from those retirement accounts, they get penalized. And we also believe that they have overseas savings accounts, and yet they were Medicaid eligible. We're taking this very seriously. We want accountability, and we are going to crack down on Medicaid fraud, and we will continue to do so. We're going to rid the system of what I refer to as the gamers. And we're going to do it because it's very important that we protect those who are needy by making sure their benefits do continue. And so tonight, I'm calling on our federal and state legislators to close this loophole with a legislation that would require that all assets be calculated when determining eligibility. And while we wait for that, we're going to expand our contract with the Bonadillo Group to include a review of long-term care applications as well. And I'd like to thank the Bonadillo Group, who I know who are with us this evening and were part of our community. And in continuing with our anti-fraud initiatives, we've also identified workers' compensation and unemployment insurance as something that costs the taxpayers a lot of money. In 2014 alone, we faced $700,000 in expenses to pay for the alleged injuries sustained by employees over the last 10 or more years. Upon identifying potential gaming in our workers' compensation program, we've initiated a program to investigate and continually scrutinize all claims. And accordingly, we have engaged a new service provider, POMCO, to help us ensure that benefits continue for those who are truly injured and unable to work. An additional effort is being placed upon reviewing unemployment claims for similar gaming, and already we've saved $40,000. Preschool and early intervention costs the county taxpayers almost $10 million. And again, this is a program that I really believe is very important. As a parent, I know, as many of you know, children do need early intervention if they are going to survive and thrive in a very competitive educational world. So the county held to its responsibility and funded the $7 million to the program, a program that provides services to 422 special needs children. Does anybody see any number ratio there? Transportation costs for 72 children are $2.3 million alone. And Putnam County cares, and therefore we supported Park with an additional $300,000 to keep their doors open. In total, all of our mandates consume 70% of our local property taxes and our sales tax revenue. What does that really mean? It means that we have very little control over our tax dollars. There's no local control with how the programs are administered. New York State mandates are inflexible and they're inefficient. And we're not alone. Just ask our sheriff or any town supervisor, town board, village mayor, village board, school superintendent, or board of ed, how the mandates are affecting their budget every year. And once again, I call on our federal and state legislators to be accountable for how they mandate these programs without adequate support or funding. And to, again, fiscal responsibility, renegotiating and issuing new contracts. My administration issued requests for proposals for 3 of the largest service contracts, and as a result, we anticipate saving $5 million over the life of these contracts, while still enhancing our services. The first, TransCare. This administration was able to successfully negotiate a contract with a premier advanced life support provider and result a savings to the taxpayer of almost $100,000 over the life of the contract. Our administration, in collaboration with our sheriff, was able to save the taxpayers over $250,000 over the life of this contract, especially notable at a time when costs for medical services are escalating. And the most notable one is our transportation contract. After careful review of the 5 respondents, an RFP was awarded to MV Transportation. MV Transportation contract alone has the potential to save the taxpayers of this county more than $4 million over the life of this contract and enhance transportation and mobility in our county. I'd like to thank MV. I believe they're here this evening as well. MV, if you'd like to stand. Welcome to Putnam County. Thank you. What was important about this contract, which is important to this administration, to myself personally, and I agree, I have agreement from the legislature, is that not only should there be savings in the contract, but it was very important, equally important, to keep the current employees working. And it was very important that we enhance the transportation system and we improve technology. Keeping the workers employed and providing a better, more efficient transportation system has been and always will be my priority, as well as I'm sure the legislature, my colleagues on the legislature. Chapter 31. Together with our realty partners, we have listed 19 properties this year. And of those 19 properties, we have already entered into a contract for the sale of 7. By placing these properties back on the tax rolls and in providing the neighbors of these properties with new owners that care, an overall increase in property values will be realized. What you're seeing right there is a before and after. So not only were we able to enhance a neighborhood, not only were we able to stimulate the real estate industry, but we were also able to put people back to work, mostly our contractors. And we were able to put this property back on the tax roll in a responsible manner. Putnam moves. With a renewed emphasis on transportation, we thought that this was the year to design a new transportation logo, to re-energize, to reintroduce the transportation system. With a marketing partnership with the Putnam County Chamber of Commerce, we had a logo design contest for our area school children. And tonight we are proud to reveal the winning design. And the winner is Willow Marshall. Yep. Thank you. And that is our winning design. I think that Willow really captured the essence of tourism and mobility and transportation in the county. I was honored to work with Jennifer Marr and the Putnam County Chamber of Commerce, and we've developed a plan to add additional revenue by promoting advertising on our buses and shelters. Environmental and infrastructure stewardship, very important role in county government. And here are some of our projects around Putnam County. 2013 was a really busy year for the Highways and Facilities crew. They worked very hard. And our Highways and Facilities Department was there to push through many of those projects. When I became the county executive, I made it my mission to do something better with this destination, the Putnam National Golf Course, which I believe is a gem for this county. We issued an RFP for all the operational phases of the club, and through that process, we hired a new general manager, Mr. Mike McCall. We also contracted with Applied Golf for general operations and homestyle catering for food services. And with those changes came a new name, the Putnam County Golf Course. My commitment didn't end there. Working with Mike and Al from Homestyle Catering and Applied Golf, we set on a mission to make Putnam County Golf Course the golf entertainment event destination in the Hudson Valley region. We improved drainage, play areas, and pathways around the course. We renovated this building from a 1970s drab to a 2014 modern with a nod to our past. We partnered with the DEP and the DEC to develop a state-of-the-art infiltration system that improves water quality and facilitated paving in the parking lot, which in addition helped the 19 municipalities in the east of Hudson to meet their phosphorus reduction goals. We also welcomed our new golf pro, Jim Woods, and we renovated the golf shop. And I'd like to congratulate Jim on his recent engagement. Jim, are you here tonight? There he is. Jim's passion is mastering the swing, and he says you can't do that without a properly fitted club. And now we have a state-of-the-art club repair and fitting center, one of the only known fitting centers in this region. The good news is it's working. Once the majority of work was completed and the word spread, we saw a dramatic increase in the number of rounds played. And not only that, we have 100 events booked already for this year, and we have 25 golf tournaments already. That's double down from last year. Our new rate schedule for 2014 has been released. Online booking has been made easier, and we have received new golf carts equipped with the GPS technology. I think that's cheating, but I don't. It doesn't stop with golf. Thanks to Al from Homestyle Catering, the events at the Putnam County Golf Course have become the place to be. And they really were really fabulous events. Catered celebrations, shows, and meetings. Putnam County Golf Course is more than just golf. And in the end, that will positively impact our bottom line. The groundwork has been laid. 2014 is going to be a great year at Putnam County Golf Course. The business model of the private-public partnership has gotten out of the rough and put us on the cart path for success. So I can't think of a better year to have bought new snow removal equipment, right? I want to thank our highway crew and again our Commissioner of Highways, Fred Pena, for all of the terrific work that they've done. And we know it's not over. We know we've got potholes, and we know that we have a lot of work to do come springtime. The work at the county office building is also paid off. The county clerk is now happy. Dennis is happy. When Dennis is happy, I'm happy. Right, Kathy? The county clerk now has all of his Carmel staff in one building. And so the Cobb building, when I became county executive, was about 70% occupied, is now 100% occupied. And that is efficiency. The county infrastructure is always a top priority with many of our county roads and receiving major facelifts from drainage mitigation to complete resurfacing. Here's a partial list, town by town, of current projects that we're partnering with. Can you go back, please? Carmel, Putnam Golf Course, Lake McGregor Dam, landfill closures, Seminary Hill, park entrance. We're working with Carmel to get all those projects done. Kent, sewer contribution, Farmers Mills, Upper Park, a new roof on the 4-H barn, foreclosed property maintenance. We're working with you. Patterson, water quality basins, highway support, Camp Hurlick, green chimneys, Cornwall Hill Road paving. Patterson, we're working with you. Phillipstown, thank God we finished the Snake Hill Road project, right? Right? Mill Road Bridge, Hudson Fjord Trail, Little Stony Point. There you go, that's Snake Hill Road culvert. I know there was something left. Manitou Road Station and the foreclosed property. Phillipstown, the county's working with you. Putnam Valley, the gas station cleanup. Peekskill Hollow Road paving, Oregon Corners, tree removal. Putnam Valley, we're working with you. Southeast, Dean Corner Road, Putnam 2, Stage 4 Bikeway, the new Freedom Sidewalk Project, just to name a few. Southeast, we're working with you. Initiative to utilize state-of-the-art planning for county roads. We worked with Cornell University, and we're developing an overall strategy that evaluates and prioritizes each of the 62 county roads. This strategy identifies remediation and maintenance opportunities for each of the roads that make up the total of 117 miles. This new strategy is designed to extend the lifespan of each of our roads to 15 years so that we can avoid unnecessary bonding and expenses. Historically, the planning for roads has been designed around a 10-year life plan, and many of our roads have not even yet met that goal. Working with the New York State Department of Transportation, Commissioner Joan McDonald, we were able to get their commitment to begin work on 3 large projects to improve the infrastructure within this county. I can tell you as a lifelong resident, Route 6, it's been long overdue, but we got it done. I was also honored to learn that our commissioner, Fred Pena, was named this year Outstanding Engineer in Government with only 2 years on board. I think we picked the right guy. Environmental infrastructure, again, projects. What is most important, again, is clean water to New York City. We must be in compliance. The East of Hudson Corporation, municipal separate stormwater sewer systems. As part of the board of directors of the East of Hudson Corporation, we have, in partnership with the other 18 municipalities in the New York City watershed, continued to meet our DEC requirements to reduce the amount of phosphorus in water. Through the East of Hudson, we are continuing to pursue developing a comprehensive plan to maximize the utilization of financial and human resources while simultaneously ensuring the maximum benefit to the environment. Enhancements of functions and facilities. Our coroner's office. Dr. Mike, are you here? Dr. Mike, cannot say enough about this wonderful, wonderful resident of Putnam. He took on the coroner's office. He built it up from nothing. 2013, he had no physical office. We got him a permanent office space in the Tops. 2013, there were 4 coroners. We consolidated to have 3 coroners, and we added a confidential secretary. 2013, there was no centralization of reports and office work. And now we have consolidated all documents and reports for ease of use and access. Thank you to Dr. Mike and his leadership. We have modernized and now generate reports regarding vital statistics and trends that will enable us to secure future grants and study trends from one year to another, all to be used as a planning tool. Nobody can drive down Route 312 and not comment on the beauty of Tilly Foster. Open space, beautiful scenery, a great location. We must now develop a plan to use this in a way that benefits the residents of Putnam County. We have formed the Tilly Foster Task Force, which will develop a plan that allows the people of Putnam to once again enjoy the beauty of Tilly Foster. The process has already begun with our first public meeting, taking place in late February. And yes, an aggressive schedule was outlined, but a website was established and future workshops have been defined. And we will have a recommendation to the legislature by May 2014. It is a priority that we get this farm back open and make it sustainable to the taxpayers. Putnam's future. Putnam County Tourism has been spreading the word about all that Putnam has to offer. And now we've gone mainstream with a brand new commercial highlighting Putnam County.
And go to where the country begins. Change your point of view. Go with the flow. Find inner peace. Take time to smell the flowers. Discover hidden treasures and enjoy life's pleasures. Escape it all. Enjoy it all in Putnam County, less than an hour away from New York City, where the country begins.
Ladies and gentlemen, Libby Pataki, our Director of Tourism, has taken tourism in this Hudson Valley region to a new level. She sets the bar really high. I want to thank Libby for that terrific, terrific commercial. So, believe me, the word about Putnam is spreading. And we now have a television and film commission in the works. Libby and I have been working on this with a Putnam resident, Bill Freak. Bill's also a volunteer Mahopac fireman. Bill, where are you? I know you were here somewhere. There he is. Bill is a member of the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts, and Sciences. And anyone interested in participating in this exciting new initiative should contact Libby Pataki. Imagine Putnam County as the backdrop for the next Leonardo DiCaprio film. Or Angelina Jolie for you guys, okay? After great success last year in Cold Spring, the Cycling Classic is coming to the east side. The Putnam Cycling Classic will be held on May the 10th in the village of Brewster. Speaking of the village of Brewster and the Cycling Classic, the entire village is benefiting from the Opportunity Area Grant obtained through the Mid-Hudson Regional Council. The village is considered the hub of the Harlem Valley, and this is an opportunity to make it the gem of the Harlem Valley. I'd like to acknowledge Mayor Schoenig and his team, Megan Taylor, for working together to give the village of Brewster back the integrity that it was robbed of. And we are committed to focusing on making sure that that village gets everything it needs so that it can have its own sustainable economic smart growth there. Part of the project takes care of this long neglected eyesore, which is a focal point in the revitalization of the village of Brewster, and that's the Morningthorpe Bridge. Let there be no mistake. Working with government partners, we were able to secure $2 million to rehabilitate the Morningthorpe Bridge in the village of Brewster. That was in collaboration with our Department of Transportation Director, Joan McDonald, and Albany. And it doesn't stop there. The Economic Development Corporation was able to facilitate a deal to repurpose the former Scortino's restaurant. Imagine Scortino's sitting where it is, empty, dead, not good. Does not send the right message. So now Putnam County will have its very first craft brewery, the Bull and Barrel Brew Pub. This business, this entrepreneur who brought this business to Putnam is creating 80 jobs and has made a $1 million capital investment to the region. That's confidence in Putnam County, by the way. You don't drop $1 million unless you believe that it's going to happen and kick off. Grant funding initiatives. As the Putnam County Executive, I've actively participated in the New York Metropolitan Transportation Council, also known as NMTC. NMTC has access to billions of federal dollars. We've under-accessed those as a county, even though we have a full voting right, but we're at the table now. This active participation was instrumental in acquiring the Morningthorpe Bridge grant. Even though on the first pass it was not originally funded, but through active collaboration by our team, we ultimately prevailed. And to further our ability to maintain visibility and actively participate, I have secured the 2014 co-chair position for this region's NMTC Council. In 2014, we've taken a very aggressive approach to acquiring grants to help alleviate the burden to taxpayers to address many items that have been ignored for years. We presently have more than $30 million in grant applications filed with various state and federal agencies. These grants include funding opportunities for fire training centers, communication, animal emergency response, retrofits for critical infrastructure, underground storage tanks, utility upgrades for critical infrastructure, hazard tree mitigation, critical network infrastructure, tools for disaster damage assessment, transportation hardening, electric live conductor training, emergency operations, homeland security for preparedness, stormwater sewer improvements. Public health and safety. New York State SAFE Act. Is it safe? Last year, we opened the State of the County with this critical issue. Our commitment to protecting the privacy and safety was challenged in a lawsuit brought against the county late in 2013, but my administration did not back down from this fight. We recently learned, however, that the state Supreme Court ruled against the county's stand to protect its privacy and safety. But this decision will not deter my commitment to preserve a person's right to privacy and safety in Putnam. And that is why I intend to file an appeal. And it's also time for Albany to recognize that the New York SAFE Act is impossibly flawed. And I'll continue to urge lawmakers to take our taxpayers' privacy rights as seriously as we do here in Putnam County. Public safety resources. Our sheriff continually strives to keep Putnam the safest county in the Hudson Valley, and it's great to know that they're there when you need them. Once again, these efforts paid off as the New York State Department of Criminal Justice named Putnam County not only the safest in the Hudson Valley, but in all of New York State. We must also remember that the Sheriff's Department is a county agency and as such delivers services to all of Putnam County. Road patrol, crime scene investigation, accident reconstruction, boat patrol, county jail, security for public events, school resource officers, also our new SPO program, training for municipal employees safety, Operation Safe Putnam, keeping our schools, businesses, and places of public gathering safe. Thank you, Sheriff. I, along with the Sheriff, have been a strong supporter of the Putnam County Emergency Response Team. The ERT is a SWAT team made up of deputies from the Sheriff's Department and officers from the Carmel and Kent Police Departments. While some of the team's operating budget is funded by grants, the Sheriff, in partnership with the legislature and my office, have also stepped up and provided funding necessary to keep this valuable team operating. DWI Avoidance Initiative. Putnam County government and we as citizens would be remiss if we ignored the significant increase in DWI incidents. And we cannot ignore the irreparable damage a DWI incident causes to the perpetrator and, unfortunately, many of the innocent victims. Accordingly, in an effort to significantly decrease the number of people who get behind the wheel of a car while they are intoxicated, we will be providing a tool to help people self-identify their inability to responsibly operate a motor vehicle. The Sheriff and I will be partnering with local community organizations and businesses, and I'm looking forward again to working with the Chamber. Jen, we have another project. Jen and Bill, poor Jen and Bill. Blood alcohol content or back testers that will enable users to self-identify their inability to drive. Each back will have taxi service phone numbers on the back. So that will enable impaired users to avoid getting behind the wheel. And we'll be seeking donations to alleviate the cost to the taxpayer. And I'm hereby committing to donate the first $1,000 to kick this program off. The county will be publishing additional information for those that wish to donate to the cause or to join us. And you can contact me at Putnam County Executive at putnamcountyny.gov. Social responsibility, social awareness. Putnam, from the days of Sybil Ludington, has always stood for the principles of what has made our county great: tolerance and respect, freedom and values. The recent statements expressed in social media are not a reflection of the values of Putnam County. With the great power of social media comes great responsibility, and with its misuse comes consequences. The Putnam County Youth Bureau continues to stand ready to assist any group or organization in our community by providing education and information on a wide variety of social issues. Thank you, Joe DiMarzo. Suicide Prevention Education and Awareness Kit, also known as SPEAK. The information superhighway and how we communicate are critical pathways to our future. The World Wide Web, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Snapchat, Kik, Instagram, texting, apps. People expect and deserve information at the speed of life. Putnam County cares, and it's our job to help those that need help before it's too late. We've designed a new app called Putnam County Cares that gets information to the public at the speed of life. Coming soon, you'll be able to download on your iPhone or your iPad. You can download now on your Android and do a search for Putnam County Cares. Because Putnam County Cares, I want you to be the first to learn how to download our new mobile app. The app is available and now for Android and very shortly for Apple. The new app will not only provide critical advice to those in need using our Speak button, but also has links to police, fire, EMS, tips on staying safe and living a healthy life. We'll help you get around Putnam, and while you're there, we'll let you know about the latest hot spots and where to shop. It's for you. Our administration's commitment to social responsibility and concern for our at-risk population has always been a priority. our seniors, children, veterans, emergency responders, all of our citizens. There are so many forces that can negatively impact us, or our friends, or our loved ones. And oftentimes we struggle on how to handle these issues. Some turn to drugs and alcohol, and some make the saddest choice and take their life. We must be there to help those with these struggles. While the loss of our residents to drug overdose is at a critical level, so too is the alarming increase in the rate of suicide. How do we reach someone when they're in crisis? Well, now there's an app for that. Within Putnam County Cares is one button that can save a life: Speak. Let's take a look. Clicking the Speak button allows you to pick the category that best fits the situation. Warning signs. You pick what you need, either for you or a loved one. What to say when someone is in crisis. Veterans, teens, adults, each one has its own special nuance, and this app provides that. For example, if you picked warning signs, you would be guided through several choices, and based on your answers, the top of the app gives you instant guidance. Sometimes it's hard to know what to say, and this app provides guidance and support. Our veterans have a unique set of circumstances most of us struggle to comprehend, and this app is your tool. Resources are available and are meant as an immediate tool to assist someone in crisis. This app has more than just Speak. Clicking on the emergency service